What's going on, good people? Your boy E-Buck in the building, your favorite co-host, doing what we do. Y'all know what time it is. It is time for that show we call the Guru Sports Perspective. Of course, we cannot have the Guru Sports Perspective without that dude right there next to the logo. Brother Hugh Lee, you see his name right there in the corner. What's going on, Hugh?
What's good, E?
Man, I'm ready to talk this sports, baby. Let's get into it. Don't even hold us up. Let's go right now.
I want to start off by getting into some of the stuff that was going on in college, man. Before I do, I wanted to just briefly talk about this. I know even if you're not a sports fan, you know about what was going on in baseball. That was something we talked about, doing a few errands this week. How did you feel? I already kind of understood how you feel, but how do you really feel about that? And we basically discussed it, but I really want to know now what's going on through your head after he signed a 15-year, $765 million contract that could soon be up to $800 million. And I heard that he owned a suite with the Mets too as part of that deal.
And an apartment in New York, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of
Mhm.
extra amenities go with that deal. Okay, understand. We talking baseball just like we talking any of the other major sports. It's two types of owners in these sports, okay? It's the owners, much like the owner for the Pistons, for instance. They got money, they buy a team, they're not really invested. It's a hobby, it's one of their portfolio things. It's something they got going, okay? It's several of those types of owners in the games. Okay. Then you got people like Mr. Cohen, the owner of the Mets, like the Steinbrenners, owners of the Yankees, like the Dodgers owners. They view this different. On the one hand, yeah, they own this thing. It's a moneymaker and whatnot. But on the other hand, they are wanting to win. They if they could pick up a bat and a ball, I think they would go out there and play themselves. It's those type of owners. The Jerry Jones type owners. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this thing, it makes it a challenge for teams like the Tigers or those middle market teams where the owners ain't really trying to pay that money to come up with the type of bread that Mr. Cohen does. Keep in mind, Cohen is one of the richest owners in all of sports, okay? Not just baseball, in all of sports. So yeah, $760 some million plus amenities and extras and signing bonus. It sounds crazy to us. The $75 million signing bonus alone is more money than me or Hugh will probably ever see in our lifetime, and add all our families put together included. Unless, of course, Hugh got the Mega Millions numbers under his bed for us on Friday, in which case, go on ahead and let me get them so I can put them in for us so we could be straight on Monday. You feel me?
I wish I could say I did.
I wish you could too. But anyway, I have a problem with that from the standpoint of, okay, ain't nobody matching that, and you know that. The crazy part is the Yankees almost did. Their offer wasn't that far off from what he got from the Mets. Crazy as that sound. But that being said, these 10, 15 million dollars, you already know how I feel about that. Ain't no player we done seen then played their contract to the fullest. Okay? Closest person to that actually was probably Albert Pujols. And he still, them last few years of getting hurt and what have you, didn't equal the money he got. But then you had the other end of it, the people like Miguel Cabrera, people like the kid in California.
We could talk about Mark Teixeira. It's a lot of guys who basically
Absolutely
fell off the face.
I mean, here we can talk about people like DeGrom and those type of folks. Sooner or later, the money ain't worth it, okay? Understand, by the time that even the great Shohei Ohtani gets the bulk of his money, he will not be nearly MVP good, I don't think. Unless he is the one rare exception. But remember, most of that money he ain't getting to like the end of that contract sometime in 2030 something.
It's going to be pretty interesting, too, in the winter meetings, E. There's a lot of stuff about that. You see all the people on the trade market, man, because people can't handle these payrolls right now.
I mean, because understand, the Yankees, they was hurt, but they wasn't too hurt. They went right ahead and opened that checkbook and got freed. So
I still think they're going to do some stuff. I was looking at the Nolan.
Oh, yeah, they most definitely going to do some stuff.
But I remember what I told you. I said it'd be better, man, because I didn't lose no sleep. I was scared at first, E, because remember I said, man, they about to pay this dude. I really thought they were going to do it because they were that close. I'm definitely glad they didn't because with him, man, you could get 5 to 6 good players that are filling any gaps. And right now, that's starting with the pitching, man. You know, they already had, Garrett Cole, and then now they got Max Fried, man. They could get some more pitching. They already talking about Nolan Arenado. It's so many things you could do with that money. You were just going to give one man to do. You think that he's going to impact the team that much? Like we said, man, just as regular talking heads, we don't think that when it comes down to it, the Mets is even going to really still compete when it comes to, teams like the Dodgers and, the teams like the teams that got the good farm leagues like the Arizonas and, the Brewers and teams of that nature, man. I still feel like they're going to be kind of stuck right now because they gave that man all that money when they didn't distribute it to make a better team out of it. And that's why I think that the Dodgers were so good about the deferred upfront money. And that's what's really good on their end because them getting Blake Snell basically guaranteed at least they'll be in another World Series, man. And we can't say that about the Mets right now. Do you feel me on that, E?
Well, again, it depends on what Mr. Cohen is willing to pay out because remember, unlike these other sports where there's that hard salary cap, baseball don't have that hard salary cap.
Not at all.
He could go out tomorrow and pay somebody else $700 million. Remember, if he didn't accept that offer, they said Soto was going to accept the Yankees offer. Don't you understand? Between him, Aaron Judge, and Mike Stanton, that's over $1 billion in payroll with just them 3 players. There are not just whole teams, whole divisions that ain't got that payroll combined, okay? I promise you, if you look at the American League Central where the Tigers are, they don't have that type of payroll. Even if you did add the Royals, the White Sox, the Twins, all them combined don't come up to $1 billion, and that's just for 3 players. That's why it's great. But again, they don't have the capital that New York has with their own television networks and them being the largest market in the country, one of the largest television markets in the world, quite frankly.
I'm just excited that they didn't pay that dude all that because I still feel like if you're not a Shohei Ohtani who can do both pitch and hit, you definitely ain't worth that amount of
Because
money.
remember, that is why they paid him the 700 million. And like many people said, it's not like Soto is the best outfielder in the world.
But
It's
that's
the
the going
idea
way.
where 5 years from now, you basically paying him the next 12 years or 10 years just to be a DH.
Yeah, because you could definitely see that coming soon, man. And unfortunately, man, don't you notice, E, this is a track record, man, and it's from everybody from Miguel to the Alberts to Mark Teixeira and everybody who got those big deals, even A-Rod. Don't you notice, man, within that 2 to 3 year frame, Mike Trout at that. Them dudes get hurt and they don't
If
be
Mike Trout ain't the biggest cautionary tale of all of these, nobody is. But long story short, the people that really lose in these types of deals are those small market teams. Because you're not coming up with that type of money if you're a
no.
St. Louis or Arizona, teams like that. They don't have that money. They're not gonna have that money.
Yeah, because a lot of teams are looking for a trade for Kyle Tucker, and there's a lot of stuff going
Right.
on.
Imagine if you like a team like Cleveland and you done pay them that type of money. You know they ticket prices will be through the roof
Oh
in order
yeah,
to make up for that.
us
Hot
to
dogs would be $20.
us to pay prices like that too. You know the concession stands would be a lot. Remember how much I had to pay for that skull cap on a cold day? Just imagine how much they was
Hell, you
in
see
that
how
good
much people had to pay for parking and all that? Come on, man. Like I said, New York, LA, they got that dough. But in the
do it.
end, if they buy every good player that's out there and make it to where every other team in the league can't, that's not good for the game.
I understand. I definitely agree, man. I want to bring some of your women to the forefront too, E man, because definitely when you've been talking about them, man, it hasn't went unnoticed, man. There's been a lot of good stuff going on in women's sports in general, especially basketball. I want to start off with how do you feel about, and we've talked about this, so this is stuff that you're going to automatically know when I come from about just the emergence of one of the third better players on the team of the UConn Lady Huskies with Sarah Strong, man. She's averaging 16 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. And man, she's a breath of fresh air because of injury concerns too with Azzi Fudd, Ice Brady, some of the people who we thought to be healthier and make a deep run with this team. But for her to come out of nowhere and Coach Oriyama basically letting her have a big role and embracing that role, because most times when it comes to coaches, they're a little bit more catered to their junior and senior players because they paid their dues. But to actually put her involved into their offense, man, is really making good basketball for UConn, and that's what I believe would make them so dangerous right now. The players they already had, and then having this new woman on their team who excelled in her first year as a rookie.
Well, understand, Sarah Strong is a little different case than your average player, okay? Understand, she is a one of one in that she grew up around the game, okay? Her father played professional basketball, spent a little time in the G League. Her mother was a WNBA player. Was both of them were standouts in college. She grew up around this game. Basically, in this day and age, it's not like 20 years ago where it may have been one or two girls' camps
Hmm.
around the country, but for the most part, girls just kind of played where they were. Now, just like the boys, they got travel teams and AAU teams and all that. And Sarah Strong has been a part of all of that throughout her life. The game comes easy to her now. You can tell by watching her play. She's not nervous out there. She may be a freshman. Somebody didn't tell her she's a freshman.
Yeah,
And according to Gino Ariama, who obviously is a great talent scout, I mean, when you consider he is the all-time winningest coach in the history of college basketball, man or female, he has said that he knew day one she was going to start. It wasn't even an issue with him. And for him to say that Gino Oriema, that speaks volumes to her. But how good is she really? You guys all should find out tomorrow. One of the best games you're going to see all year, I believe, is coming on tomorrow night. Check it out on ESPN or ESPN Plus if you got it. It's going to be UConn versus Notre Dame and a big throwdown, okay? I'm talking about you looking at not only the two probably best guard tandems in the country. When you look at UConn and AZ Fudd and Paige Beckers against your girls Olivia Miles and Helena Hidalgo, that matchup in and of itself is worth the money for your popcorn, okay? But then it's so many X factors on both squads.
Yeah, because they even got a really good rookie too over there with Caval, man. How she just came out of nowhere and playing really good. They already had good chemistry over there, but then you keep adding good players and good talent. I'm glad you mentioned that too, because I wanted to talk about. And the funny thing is, even you were saying you didn't really want it to be, and then like the element of surprise. These are basically the stats that you gave me. So I did my research on these things, man, and I was intrigued by it. Hannah Hidalgo has scored a double figures in every game in her college career, man. We know when Olivia Miles got hurt, we seen her and we start seeing that name often. But I didn't know that she did double digits in every game. And she haven't really had any bad games neither. So I've been impressed with her and her emergence, man. So yeah, with that game being said, that's going to be one of the best games this year. And it's only going to get better for women, especially in the college hoops too, because I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen in that game because it's going to speak volumes. Because I still feel like between one of those two teams, and then I have to mention my homegirls too, South Carolina. Somebody's still gonna give UCLA a challenge, man, because I don't think that no team, like you said, is gonna go undefeated this year. Not in the women.
UCLA still got to play USC a couple times just for starters. Not to mention the Big Ten. Not the SEC this year. It's probably going to be the bigger conference when it comes to women's college basketball. You got Oregon, you got USC, you got UCLA, you got Maryland that's undefeated. And then, of course, you got Michigan and Michigan State that's in the top 25. You got Indiana looking decent, and Ohio State still not a bad squad. It's definitely going to be a nice little fuss in that Big Ten this year.
Definitely glad that this coming along, man, because that comes into the next topic that I was going to say, too. Your girl, Juju Watkins, in 8 games, already had a game with 40 plus points, 9 plus rebounds, 9 plus assists, 9 plus threes, 5 plus blocks, and 5 steals. They say no other NBA or WNBA player or D1 player this century has done all in one season.
The crazy part about it is Juju's still not even as good as Juju gonna be.
Not at all.
Juju's still growing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they list her at 6'2". I think she's closer to 6'3" now. We ain't seen nobody with this type of overall game since Candace Parker.
I was just about to say that. She's going to get that girl.
And she's better than Candace Parker.
I believe so.
Right now.
Mm-hmm. And so just
right
imagine
now.
2 more years, with this woman alone and what she's going to bring to the game. I think that's going to translate over to the WNBA as well, man.
I don't see anybody in the WNBA that's going to consistently stop her from scoring, okay? I just don't. And if she adds to her game what Caitlin Clark has added with the ability to be more of a passer when necessary, and also more that post game that she don't show nearly as much, she gonna be all type of hell to deal with. You basically talking about somebody that could score like a White Mamba herself. I can't think of her name at the moment, but y'all know who I'm talking about.
You talking about old girl? Diana Taurasi.
There we go. But also got a post game like Elisa Leslie or Candace Parker, and is good at handling the ball as well. Think about it. When Notre Dame played USC, yeah, they beat Notre Dame. No, Notre Dame beat them, but Juju still got hers.
Oh, absolutely. The whole
even get double and triple team.
Yeah, the whole game was around her and trying to stop her, but you ain't gonna stop her. It's like she's gonna get hers, but what everybody else gonna do, and that's what determined the game because nobody else really did anything, and they let Juju get hers, and If she get hers and nobody else get theirs, guess what? That's gonna come to a loss. Not every night, because you know a team like Notre Dame just had a good flow and they got a good distribution players on that team, so they could distribute
And they
them.
got several people that can handle the ball. And let me go back to that USC UConn game, that Notre Dame UConn game. A
Mm-hmm.
couple X factors y'all should look out for on Notre Dame. There's this kid Sonia Citron. Tell them about them. Hugh.
Man, I was surprised about just seeing how good these ladies are, man. But ladies out of nowhere that came up that I've seen, and I had to start looking at them and seeing how good they were. Citron is one of them, but the one lady that surprised me though, E, was the one that you showed me, because I never really looked at Florida State's game. Was the Tanaya Latson girl, man? I was
For those of
really
you who don't know, she is the leading scorer in the country right now.
I didn't know too much about her until you showed me that, and I started looking more into her. And she's averaging like 20 points, 3 assists, and 3 steals in the game. She even had a triple double. She even had a double double with 34 points and 10 assists. So it's like the women now, we got to start paying attention. And we already have some household names in college basketball with the women, but it's other women now that I definitely will be paying more attention to, because I don't really see as many Florida State games being advertised. But when I do from now on, I'm going to definitely keep my eye out for them.
Right. Another kid y'all might want to keep your eye on coming out of LSU, Michaela Williams. She is actually their leading scorer. Not Fly J, but Michaela Williams. And basically she's being sort of mentored by your boy KD. He says she reminds him a lot of his game in terms of how she plays, because her jumper is pure. I mean, basically, think of Karl Malone without the post game, but with a better perimeter game. That's Michaela Williams.
And then, like you said too, man, on the Sonya Centron, getting back to her, man, she's a senior, so we're going to see more from her too. But she's averaging like 14, almost 15 points a game with like 6 rebounds and 2.5 assists. So
Right.
you already had people like Olivia Miller on that team, and then you add on to that Hannah Hidalgo. You got Sonya Citron, and then you got Caval. Man, I just think Notre Dame's really good at recruiting, and I believe that's going to continue too, man. Until Coach Gino Auriemma retired, man, I don't really see too many people topping him as far as getting a lot of talent, because a lot of people going to go there. But those are going to be like the second, third, fourth best teams when it comes to recruiting as well. So I definitely will keep my eye out for some of these colleges. But I just only feel like that college going to get stronger, man, because we already talked about the rookies who now sophomores this year, and now we got these rookies that's coming in, and then we don't even know a lot. Like a lot of them gonna come in next year,
Right.
heavily.
Remember, the number one ranked recruit right now coming out of high school is this kid named Aaliyah Martinez. If you're not familiar, basically she already has 4,000 career points in high school. She's a scorer like that. Uh, I would comp her to be something along the lines of Allen Iverson with a little bit of a Steph Curry skill set. So combine those two, and that's kind of what she is. And right now, she has not committed to any school, but they said she'll be announcing soon. And Lord forbid if somehow Gino or your girl Dawn Staley pulls that off and gets her to add to their programs, because they are already stacked for years in both schools. But imagine Sarah Strong and her playing together next year
And
with
remember,
Paige and them being gone. It's just
we've
going to
been
be all
seeing
road.
from like last year or something, man, and we've seen that team, the San Dimas team, for a while now, man. It's like maybe 2, 3 years in a row that we've seen big time recruits from college, like the women's, like the Dawn Stellies and Gino Auriemma, and like going to their games. So it's
Kim Mulkey, exactly.
yeah, it's like it's a regular thing now that they're going to the San Dimas games. So yeah, man, I believe it's gonna be a lot of talent come out of that school outside of her too. So yeah, man, it was been pretty cool, man. That's one thing I'm thankful for as far as Instagram and like a lot of the networks and stuff that we've been seeing. We see a lot of the sports and we see a lot of up and coming players coming from there. And I appreciate that you been educating me and kind of sending me some of the stuff as well, because I remember when you gave me Sarah Strong and was showing me stuff that highlights from her high school career. So yeah, man, Aaliyah Martinez, man, from San Dimas, man, that team is gonna be strong for a while. And I'm interested in seeing other schools out there too, man. I just wish that we had more stuff acclimated or things happening in our area too, man. I want to see more women from the D, or just Michigan in general get those type of accolades, man, and put us on the map a little bit more when it comes to
Right.
women
And
hoop.
then for those of y'all in the audience, if y'all got some women hoopers, because we definitely trying to bring more people to women's sports in general that you are familiar with, that's in your area, feel free to put them in comments or let us know in our messengers, and we'll check them out and see what we can say about them. But while we talking women's hoops, I got to also congratulate Caitlin Clark on being
Yeah.
named Times
Mhm.
Athlete of the Year, not female athlete, the Athlete of the Year. Big honor.
What I like about that too, E, was the fact that she was honored. We know that, but she kind of downplayed it too. Like, man, a lot of the WNBA black women put the game on the map. I'm not the only one, and I appreciate them opening the doors for me. When she said that, I said, "Well, okay, I appreciate that too." But we know that you coming in, you definitely impacted a lot of college basketball, and then a lot more people start paying attention to the NBA from her and Angel Reese when they came in. And yeah, it just was really good what we seen, man, because I was still surprised after them going to the playoffs that they got rid of their coach. We've been saying that after like the first couple of weeks, but they actually went to the playoffs, man, and it was just like the coaching changes in WNBA was just astonishing. They got rid of some everybody, man. They didn't give a damn. It's like, what have you done for me lately? You ain't do nothing in that 1 year, man. They got rid of tons of coaches. So yeah, pretty interesting in seeing what's going to happen after that too.
Right. Another thing is, it's crazy. You actually find out something that her and Angel Reese has in common. Both of them, you know who their favorite player is?
Cool.
Same person who's Sarah Strong's favorite player as well,
More.
Maya Moore. That's right.
That's pretty cool, man.
That's part of how they actually got Sarah Strong to come to UConn by
That
having
makes
Maya
a lot
Moore
of
pop
sense.
up on her.
That definitely make a lot of sense, man. I just seen Edie flash across my screen, and we're gonna get into that a little later, man. On the NFL, and we're gonna talk about the college too. But yeah, about the contract with Bill Belichick, it's like a 3 year, $30 million deal.
Like any of that matters.
It's, and
Whoa.
it ain't even about the money for that man. You know him, man. He just a student of the game. And remember when we were talking about that too. I still feel like him. He's going to put his imprint on college. I still believe it's just as fast, and it's going to be just as big of an impact. I believe it. I don't know if it's going to be that big of an impact, but it's going to be impactful, like on the Nick Saban level.
No, I have to disagree with you, Hugh. I think it's going to be even more impactful.
Oh yeah.
Understand what we're talking. Okay.
Mhm.
As we know, Bill Belichick is the second
Super Bowl.
all-time winningest coach in NFL history. Bill Belichick has won more Super Bowls than any coach in NFL history. Keep those
Mhm.
two things in mind. Unlike basic Coach A that has to go out and recruit and say, okay, this is our school. We got this going on. We can help you do this. Bill Belichick can conference call you from his crib, his beautiful mansion out there in Ukabuka, Massachusetts, okay? And be like, son, I want you to come here because we want to help you be an NFL player.
That's
If
all you got to
you
say.
go with me, I can help you win one of these. You see what I'm saying? Or you can win
Mhm.
one of these trophies. You know what I'm saying? He is the recruiting tool. He is the recruiting tool. Ain't no getting past that. All right. First of all. Second of all, when that man tell you I could get you ready for the NFL, how do you doubt him?
Can't.
You see how many Hall of Famers he didn't put on? He didn't work with some of the greatest of all time. Not just NFL, I mean the all time. Tom Brady been on his squad. Randy Moss been on his squad.
And
Brisk.
he,
I mean, think about it. And even if you ain't trying to do NFL fully, you just want to be around the game.
He
I
can
can
get
help you
you
be a
through.
broadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe you don't want to play, but you involved in office. I can help you be a GM.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
is
he
the
got that
ultimate recruit
experience.
tool.
He wasn't
Okay?
a good GME, but he can get you in there.
Right. Understand. Bill got this type of pull. Okay, I want you to go to North Carolina. Well, yeah, I was thinking about being a two-sport athlete. I might go ahead and play basketball too. Hold on. Let me make a call. Hi, Mike. How's it going? It's Bill Belichick. I got this kid you want to talk to. And link you up with Michael Jordan. Because you know he got his number in his phone, okay?
Definitely being in North Carolina. Oh, definitely. Most definitely.
Hell, he might even pull a ultimate move. You know what? Hold on. Hey, Donald, this is Bill. Yeah, I want to talk to this kid. He thinks about going to politics after playing football. Because you know he got DT's number, okay?
So many connects, man. Yeah, they pretty tight. Yeah, we know that.
So that's just that part of it, all right? Then let's talk about his knowledge of the game. Outside of maybe Coach Saban, ain't nobody else alive got the football knowledge of a Bill Belichick, okay?
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually start naming them Madden games after Bill if that was a possibility because of that.
At least the college game, it makes perfect sense to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, people, the bad part is, yeah, you got so much say so, but the good part is you got even more say so in a college program. Because think about it. Yeah, North Carolina, they got a president, they got an AD. Who telling Bill what to do? You
Nobody.
sound stupid telling Bill, yeah, you need to do that. And he Bill Belichick. And it's $30 million just something that he put in his other bank account because he already made a couple hundred mil.
Yeah.
Not to mention, remember, coaches get NIL deals too. Okay, they got sponsorships and whatnot. You think Bill ain't gonna get no extra sponsorships?
And then just imagine even when the draft and stuff come around, the 2020
Yeah,
draft and everything, he gonna probably have that show like what my man's used to have, John Gruden, man, like as far as sitting kids down and showing them like the plays and see if they understood the play by him putting it up there and erasing it and trying to check their, muscle memory of how they think and how they could react to a play and defense and schemes. Yeah, man, definitely. Just him being on the Peyton Manning cam, and him and his little brother Eli, man, it's just a lot of stuff that Bill got his hands on right now. That's really gonna impact the game. I really think that this gonna elevate college even more,
right.
man.
Because keep in mind, if this works, and I think it could,
It definitely could.
it's actually might start a trend where people go the reverse route as opposed to trying to get another NFL job. Let me go on to college.
Like your Vrabels and some of the guys who out there and waiting.
Understand this move might make somebody like a Dion decide to stay in college. Okay,
Makes sense, B. It makes sense.
imagine them two recruiting against each other.
And then think about, I wanted to ask a question, man. Do you think now, in my opinion, we already heard the NFL news, but I want to throw another thing at you. Do you think if something goes on, and we talked about this before, and they be like, well, yeah, man, you staying in college, you don't coach prime, and we appreciate that. Do you want to come home, man? Do you want to come to your alma mater and, do you want to be a coach there? Do you think that opportunity would probably come up too? And how would you think he would react to it right now if that actually was something that they threw on the table?
Keep in mind that makes things that much more interesting. Remember, Florida State, they're not in the SEC, they're in the ACC. Guess who else in the ACC? North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Dabo Sweeney and all those guys he'll be recruited against that. And then, like you say, that Florida State money hit different, man.
And right, not to mention, remember, when we talking this day and age of college football, NIL deals, remember, y'all, you get more bang for your buck in Florida. Florida don't have no state income tax, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to make more money in Florida than you would in most other places because of that. Not to mention, Florida is just basically it's like you going and saying, I want to be an oil miner, and they send you down to Texas. And like, Whatever you find, they're your oil. Knowing it's all type of oil in Texas. The same with football in Florida. Yeah, you need some recruits. Just look around where they play football all year long. Where some of the best players in the country come out of Florida. Some of the fastest. You know what I'm saying?
Weather and everything
Right.
else that go along
And
with
you,
it.
Dion. And you, Dion. You see what I'm saying?
You know how we're Buffalo
Or you, Bill Belichick.
is. You know how they weather is. It could be 70 degrees one day, and then you got like 4 feet of snow on the ground. So
Right.
yeah,
Because remember,
I mean,
Dion come with a whole other set of things like, oh, yeah, let me call my boy. Yeah, you remember Luke? Yeah, me and Luke used to hang out. Let me call Luke. You see what I'm saying? It's certain things that they can do in recruiting wars that most of your average coaches don't even have an inkling of.
and you know if Dion leave, you know Warren Sapp gonna probably leave with him, man. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
he's taking a stab for them. Ain't no doubt about it.
for sure.
I feel bad for Colorado because in the end, it's gonna happen.
I
It may
believe
not
so,
happen
man.
today. It may not happen in a year. But eventually somebody gonna say, look, Dion, I know Colorado nice and all that, but you remember what you said? Must be the money. Here you go.
And he said that too when he left Jackson State and went to Colorado. He was like, "Hey, man, the money was right."
Right, because remember, he still got a home down there in Texas, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say Texas A&M say, I'm tired of dealing with Texas like this. Let me see if I can get Dion up in here.
Because you know, I was
Let's just say
disappointed.
TCU like, damn, I'm tired of being a little brother. Let me see
Mm-hmm.
if I can get Dion to come to TCU. Like they don't have a hotbed of talent in Texas for football, where they also play all year long. Like I said, this is a good thing what Bill is doing.
It's
He is
no,
actually helping the game at a time where it needs help
yeah,
because the NIL and transfer portal. Yeah, it's people right now in that transfer portal like, oh yeah, let me see what North Carolina talking about.
speaking of too, I want to kind of get into was predicting the 2025 college football championship, man, and basically the teams who are actually in this 12-team playoff.
Okay, we're gonna talk that, but let me throw another quick item in for bid. The number one male recruit in college basketball
Yeah,
announced
I seen that. Mm-hmm.
his choice, BYU.
That surprised me. I thought of all teams, him picking BYU was interesting, man.
But keep in mind, he said it's because they have a lot of pro coaches on that squad that'll help him be pro ready. Because he said, "Yeah, I'm doing BYU, and I'm definitely one and done."
Mm.
But that being said, let's understand the real reason why he going to BYU. Because they just announced today his $7 million NIL deal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The boy ain't even 18. They done slapped him with 7 mil. Come on, man.
Man, I
It's
wish
a brave new world out here,
it's
y'all.
nice to be in college now, man, because you're getting all this money now thrown at you, man. Like you said, not even 18 years old yet, and you getting that type of money stepping in college, man, with these NIL deals. So, yeah,
Right, because understand, yeah, he making 7 mil. That freshman year ends. Yeah, I'm about to go, y'all. You sure, bruh? We got another 10 mil for you if you stand on it. You see what I'm saying? This
mhm.
is what we got to look forward to in these years to come, the way this NIL is set up right now. Some of these people gonna be like, well, I was gonna leave after my freshman year, but they just bought me this Range Rover and this Tesla truck and it was full of money. So yeah, I'm gonna go on and stay another year.
And you can do those things now without getting penalized, like the red,
Exactly.
and the
Not like
Michigan
they didn't go on
things, and etc.
yeah, but anyway.
I really think that's going to just really step the game up too, man. And I'm
Right.
interested in seeing how these deals come about now for some of these kids going into, not just that, just man, I want to see, and I'm more interested in too what's going to happen, like as far as NIL and baseball too, man. I want to keep my eye on that because we already seeing how you can get 10.5 million as a starting quarterback in college football, and then the 7 million in basketball. I want to know how it goes on their end and how much they're getting these guys in on NIL deals.
Right. And then of course it's gonna be that day because they're out there. these athletes in high school that play multiple sports. Okay, yeah, I don't want to go to this school because they ain't gonna let me do both. We'll let you do both. We're gonna pay you $3 million from the baseball team and $3 million for the football. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's bound to happen sooner or later with somebody. Hell, we even pay for your sister to come to school and play here. Who knows what type of multifaceted deals they're gonna come up with in the future?
That's gonna be so cool too. Like you said, man, you already getting in college and you getting like good money, but then now you can bring your family members and stuff, man. That would make me intrigued to say, yeah, I'll stay another year, man. If y'all can pay for my sister, man, and get her through college, man. That's crazy. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff that goes on, and it's like it's not even manipulating nobody now or doing anything, egregious like they used to say, man. It's the normal now in pro.
Right. Well, all right, y'all. We got to speed up a little bit. We even got excited and got the good talking, but yeah, we definitely got to get to this here.
Yeah.
This, my friends, is the layout for the college football playoff we about to talk about. You see, you got Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, Arizona State, Clemson, Texas, SMU, Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame, Georgia, and Boise State. That being said, he was gonna break it down for you. Go ahead, you.
All the teams that's on bye right now, man, they deserved it, well deserved, man. And then you got the teams who's playing, and then you're gonna have like the guys who are playing, like the Texas and the Tennessee. And I really think right now this is like the best time to get like they're going to get more players or get more teams involved eventually in the future, but this is going to work. I was actually excited too, man, because a team like Alabama, who gets a lot of love and who's been a big name team, they looked at it and they said, finally, without being biased this time, the strength of schedule, man. Yeah, you went 3-1 against top 10 teams, but you lost to two teams with 6 losses on their record. And they put those teams out and rewarded the teams who actually did well. Because at first, remember our conversation, I was like, man, SMU, man, if they're going to get beat like this, they don't deserve to be in it, man. It's a joke. It was the second half in the Tell Two Tapes where they came back and almost won it. I feel like they gave up too much for them to go down and kick that field goal, but still, it let me know that SMU was serious, man. And I was really surprised to see them come all the way back. They could almost pull the upset, but didn't. But yeah, man, I feel like they're deserving of that, man. A team that we never really paid as much attention to, and I felt like who didn't really play nobody. And then they played Clemson and took them, to the very end of the game of regulation to actually beat them. Yeah, I feel like this time around that they got this committee, the committee got it right.
Here's where I disagree with you, my friend. And again, this thing gonna come up a couple more times during the show. Old school versus new school thinking. Okay. Remember, we've been saying for years they need a playoff. This two teams they didn't pick, these ain't the right two teams. These four teams they didn't pick, these ain't the right four teams. Well, you figured, okay, if they pick 12 teams, they gotta get it right. Guess what? It ain't about getting it right. It's about what's gonna happen when these games get played and you get to the stadiums, and these stadiums are either full
Or
and
not
people are
full.
watching these games, or they kind of full and people not watching these games. You know, it's about to be every bowl in America these next few weeks. And basically, it's going to be people like myself that are football fans, but not to that great extent, that say, okay, smurf these other bowls. I'm going to watch the bowl that my team is in and it's college playoff bowls. The rest of these bowls, they can go ahead and put them on the shelf. I ain't trying to see the Frito Lay, the Little Caesars, the AutoZone, none of these other little bowls. I ain't got time for this. Watching these 2 6 and 16s play, okay? First of all. Second of all, it's about the money. And don't say that we don't care about money, because I do believe the reason why President 45 is now President 47 is because many of y'all looked at your pockets and thought, okay, I need somebody that's going to give me some more money. I think DT will get me some more money. I'm voting for him. We look at things from a financial standpoint in this country, and at times it makes me sick. I hate it. But I understand where it comes from, okay? Alabama, They make money, okay? They sell gear. Their fans travel wherever they go. Same could be said for teams like a Michigan or Ohio. Yeah, I almost said that out loud. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ew, ew. The team down south, But y'all know what I'm saying. Certain teams, they have followers all over the world, okay? Those teams, as a from a playoff standpoint, if they anywhere near good, you want them in that playoff because you want advertisers to want to have you be in a stadiums and make that money. Okay, let's look at this playoff again, shall we? Now, some of these teams you're very familiar with, your Texas, that team down south, Tennessee, Notre Dame, who I told you I was going to get in pretty much damn near no matter what, as long as they didn't lose too many games. Those teams are teams people want to watch. If you want to watch the games, that leads to the advertising dollars, so on and so forth. Okay, let's just say we get down to the last four teams, Hugh, and it's these four teams. We end up with SMU, Indiana, Tennessee, and Arizona State. If those are the final four, how many people watching them games, Hugh?
I'm not sure, but I know I am.
I know you will because you the football guru and football your jam. I get that. But think about basic fan A, Hugh. Ain't nobody trying to see that.
Yeah, I definitely have to give you that part, man. I looked at more the aspect too, where I know you didn't really agree on me, was the win and you in. But then some of these teams didn't win though, and they still got in, So that's the part I was like was a little tricky.
Right. And then of course, Hugh, come on now. It's a team or two. They got job. Army, they got played, bro. I don't want to hear that strip of schedule bullshit.
Mhm.
They only lost one game.
Yeah.
And they lost to a team that's in the playoff.
Mhm.
Okay. Understand, yeah, they lost bad that game, but every other game they played, not only did they win, but they won by pretty comfortable margins in most of them
Yeah.
games. So strength of schedule is one thing. What about that point spread? They've said in the past that do matter in certain cases. It should have mattered here. Army is definitely one of the best 12 teams in the country. They better than Indiana. I'm gonna say it flat out. Okay, they right up there with Boise State. I'm gonna say that flat out.
I don't know about that, E. I have to
I'm saying
strongly
it.
disagree with that.
I'm
That's
saying
crazy
it.
talk, man.
Captain America, the quarterback for Army, as you will see in that Army Navy game, that dude's a good player. If not for the fact he in the armed forces, and because Army is Army, and they don't get that type of television exposure and whatnot, they got some players on that Army squad that could play in the NFL. They probably
Yeah.
won't because of their commitments. But yeah, this is actually a very, very good Army team. Okay.
I could say that Army, well, Boise, that's what I mean. Boise's cornerback is not that sharp neither. He's okay at best. But
Yes,
you know who Boise run through, man, and it's Sean Jennings, man.
I understand that, but
But I don't
that
know if
Army
I'm better
team,
than them,
I
though.
think
That's
they can
crazy
slow
talk,
him down
man.
enough. And like I said, I looked at Boise State's defense. I wasn't overly impressed with that.
Nah, not at
Who,
all.
who they playing this next round? Hold on, let me go back to the thing here. Okay, Boise State is going to get the winner of SMU and Penn State. Yeah, I do believe they will probably beat whoever wins that game.
Yeah.
But then they'll get the winner of probably Georgia Notre Dame.
That's not gonna
Yeah,
look good.
that's going to be where
That's
they.
gonna get ugly
That's where they're going to
because
be where they tap out.
them
If
the
Georgia play Boise State, I think they're going to whoop them.
Hey man, what I was surprised about too, and I've said it, man. I didn't think the Texas was gonna lose at home to Georgia twice, man. How surprised was you in that game, man? But then I've always been a person who never was a huge fan of Quinn Ewers. And what I tell you at the end, Quinn Ewers
Another thing, old school way of thinking, it's about the win. New school way of thinking, I want to win, but I want to get my shine and get my money too.
Pretty much, because that's how it seemed like too. It's like he just when I was surprised that Brandon Graham actually mentioned it, the strained relationship, because I've seen something last year like, man, AJ Brown's really pissed off at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts a low key laid back person, and he's always here, man. He's never too high, never too low, just like right there in between. And when that happened, I said, okay, well, I'm not really paying that no mind. And then you got the best quarterback who can go through that. It's not like the Donovan McNabb and the T.O. situation all over again. I look at it and I said, I feel like the same thing is nonsense, man. I didn't think that he should even talked about it on a podcast, let alone bring anything up like that in social media. Now he trying to backtrack it. No, man, you said what you said, and now we interested and we looking at it. Is it really a big deal? It possibly could be, but long as you win it, why are you worried about your stats and saying, "Oh man, we should have worked better on passing the ball," because we barely won. Guess what? You won. I mean, move on. And like you said, more people focus on their accolades than the team winning. So yeah,
Right, because I promise you, and that team that y'all playing this week, Pittsburgh Steelers, they probably having some of them same issues in
you
terms of
don't
being
hear
an
about
offense and passing the ball. But guess what? You ain't about to hear about it. You know why?
it.
Like Tomlin not playing that bullshit.
Not at
Not at
all.
all. Not that brother.
The Green Bay Packers versus the Detroit Lions, man. I was on eggshells, man. I was a little disappointed in some of the stuff that happened because we already got injured. We can't afford to be giving the ball to the other team. But at the end of the day, I believe once my man's Jared Goff settled down, the team looked really sharp, man. And it was a battle of, our defense missing some guys, we missing some guys too. It was back and forth. But when that 4th and 3 play happened, and they kicked the field goal, I said, "Uh-oh." My boy Dion and Ruben, we were over here watching the game, and Dion was like, "They about to go down the field and they about to win, dude, because they should have went for it and try to win for the touchdown to win. But since they didn't, we're going to capitalize on it." And I was like, "Man, let's hope that." But the crazy, you got to have a lot of balls to do what my man's doing. He do it and he win. It's like when you lose, you get upset too about that.
Okay. I done had some time to think about this. Keep in mind, in the process of the game, we was going back and forth with the text. I was kind of concerned about a couple of the fourth down calls. We
Mhm.
gonna stop doing that with Coach Campbell, okay? Or Coach Gamble, as some of y'all like to call him. Understand, good people, this ain't him making okay, let's see what happens. This is an actual strategy for him. And guess what? It works. Yeah, oh yeah. Everybody wants to bring up, well, remember the NFC Championship game? If he hadn't did all that, we probably would have won. No, 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 no. First of all, I'm gonna keep it real with you. We probably would have lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl anyway.
hmm
They go E being a homer for his people again.
Maybe
You know
that
it's
year.
true, damn it.
Maybe that year. I don't know about now.
Oh yeah. I know what I predicted at the beginning of the year. I still look pretty good right now. They are the two teams with the two best records in football. I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah, when talking to Dan Campbell early in the week on the local radio stations, he basically said, "Look, I believe in my team. I do this because we are prepared to do this. We practice like this. We go into this thing thinking if we get anywhere close on fourth down, it's an automatic. We going for it. And understand, in the last 4 years since he's been coach, the Lions have went for it on fourth down more than any other team. Guess what, Hugh? They've also made it more than any other team. And it ain't even close. When it comes to fourth down in the red zone, they've gone for it more than any other team. Guess what, Hugh? They done made it more than any other team. When it comes to going for it on fourth down and scoring, guess what? They done scored more than any other team. So yes, even though we actually do got a good field goal kicker and a damn good punter, one of the best in the damn game. In the end, if the strategy is look, we got one of the best offensive lines in football, two of the best running backs, quarterback that's 6'4". It's 4-1, we going for it. It's 4-2, we going for it. damn it, accepted, people. Because if he had not been like that, we would not be where we are now.
I would like
Plain and simple.
I would actually like to break that down too, just in case people don't understand it. Dan Campbell since 2021 fourth down gambles, 13 touchdowns on fourth down. First and fourth down conversions 145, and the top 10 in fourth down conversion rate 56%. Let that sink in.
That part. And in the end, what did it get us? We are 28-5 in our last 33 games.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple.
That game was definitely a nervous one too. But to kick that field goal and win at the end of 31, the 34-31, man, that was a really good feeling. That let us know, like you said, man, he didn't want to put everything on the defense because we still kind of banged up. And then, we played the most games in the last 4 weeks than anybody. So after this game, we can rest up and get ready for the next game.
And remember, y'all, I was the one who told everybody first about that dude, Jake Bates. You remember that, Hugh?
Mm-hmm.
That day I see him kick the 64-yarder for the Panthers. Like, the Lions need that dude.
Yeah.
Do not let him leave the building. Thank God they did not.
And he didn't either. Atlanta Falcons versus Minnesota Vikings. That game kind of got weird to me, because at first the game was close. And then my man's McLeod muffed the ball, and then they got the ball and scored, and they just torched them guys after that, man. That final score was 42-21. What happened, man? Did that
man, I like that dude, Kirk Cousins, as a person. It's something about when the lights is the brightest that he just don't handle proper business.
Facts.
And another thing is, can y'all start putting some respect on Sam Darnold's name?
Yeah.
He done figured it out, okay? I understand that he done went through his share of teams or whatnot, but remember, once upon a time, he was the number one recruited quarterback in the country. Y'all remember that? When he went to USC?
Mm-hmm.
Once upon a time, he was a top 10 draft pick in the NFL. Y'all remember that when he went to the Jets? Dude got skills, okay? And he did put them on display in Minnesota, where they got a very good receiving core, mind you, and some decent running backs. Minnesota is a good team. Atlanta, not so much. Not so much. And I understand that you done paid Kirk all that guaranteed money and whatnot. Again, shout out to the real MVP, his agent. But y'all say y'all not gonna do it, but y'all get out of playoff contention. Them last couple games, I think y'all might want to see what y'all got with that Penix dude. I'm just saying.
I think Tampa Bay gonna run away with that division now, man. It ain't too much. It ain't too hard though. But I definitely think now after that game and how they went on that 2-game losing streak, yeah, I believe it's favored for Tampa Bay.
Right, but yeah, I can't wait till we play Minnesota again that last game of the season. It's gonna be real interesting.
The Seattle Seahawks game, man. The Seahawks versus Arizona. That was one that kind of caught me off guard because, like, what the hell, man? We see how good Arizona be at some point, and then they give us one of these type games. What's up with that, man?
I done said it all year, Hugh. I don't know what to make of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's some things about that team that's very good. I love the running back, okay?
Yeah.
That dude, he got, you know what I'm saying? I like that dude, Kyler Murray, but it's like some weeks, it seemed like he took the time out to play Madden and not looking at playbook.
On the duty.
Or whatever he doing. I mean, because he is a gamer, I imagine, and his future, he going to be a gamer, and you're going to see him on TikTok and all that. But anyway, they just don't always come like they need to come with it. It's some good people on that defense. That dude, Buda Baker, that's my guy. I fuck with Buda the long way. That dude remind you a lot of that man that used to play over there in Pittsburgh, Troy Polamalu, because he everywhere.
I was surprised the Steelers didn't go after him, man, or like somebody like the Eagles or somebody. I thought for sure
they had that dude on the Lions. But anyway, they got some good elements on that Arizona squad. They just not quite ready for prime time. As far as Seattle go, they starting to come together.
Yeah, they really look pretty sharp, man. You know who really been standing out too? My man's Leonard Williams, man. He really been looking good.
And of course, those defensive backs, particularly the one that he was in love with over there in Seattle, they starting to show up and show out too. I like what they got going there in the secondary. And again, Gino said, y'all the ones wrote me off. I didn't.
And ain't that crazy too, man? The emergence of Geno and how well he played, and then Sam Darnold, how good he's playing, man. A lot of people don't know how young Sam Darnold still is, man. You know how old Sam Darnold is, bro? He only 27.
He right there with that dude, Baker Mayfield, that's only a couple years older than him.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of football left in both of them arms, okay?
Man, we're gonna talk about one of the good crazy games, man. I don't know if the defense was that bad, maybe not, but we're gonna talk about the shootout with the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams, man.
Best game of the weekend, no doubt about it. We got two Hall of Fame quarterbacks right there. Yeah, that's right. I said it out loud. That dude, Matthew Stafford, is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah,
I thought he was when he was here. It's just he didn't get the backing. I can only imagine what this Lions team would look like if Matthew would have stayed.
you know what?
Granted,
I've
we
been
wouldn't have
thinking
got
of
some of those
myself.
draft picks that
Thinking
we
of
got.
myself.
But in the same token, if he had these weapons to work with, as opposed to what he had at the time, when it pretty much was just him and Calvin Johnson and bits and pieces, yeah, that part. But that being said, he set up pretty good over there with the Rams. They got some damn good offensive weapons over there, and
You
that
know,
defense is starting to grow. I
don't you
mean,
be forgetting about my boy Golden Tate, man. He had a couple good years here.
eh, Golden Tate better off doing what he's doing now. What is it about being in Detroit that makes you good for broadcasting later on? You
Mm,
notice that?
yeah.
A lot of former Lions and Pistons
Mm-hmm.
and Michigan State players, they go into broadcasting and podcasting and all that. It's something in the water here, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the Rams look good, but Buffalo looked good. If it would have been in one or two more plays, they probably would have won that game.
You know what they messed up at, E? Even when they didn't get that touchdown, they should have just went for it again without calling that timeout, man. If they call that timeout, that messed them up, man. Yeah, they
Yeah,
left.
and I'm afraid the refs did play a vital part in that game as well.
Yeah,
Is it me, Hugh, or has it been like some really, really, really bad calls all year long from these refs
absolutely. You know how I feel about them refs and how they should be getting fined already, but it's been a really
and
bad year
suspended?
in calls.
And suspended. Agreed.
I want to talk about the Los Angeles Chargers in the Kansas City game. I was telling my nephew, I said, no matter what you think, man, at the end of the day, man, um, they're going to find a way to win this game, man, because it's still too close for comfort. And sure enough, man, at the end of that game, they drove the ball downfield convincingly, kicked the field goal. It was a little scarier than all the other plays. It didn't go straight through. It was one of those doink plays, but still, at the end of the day, Kansas City ended up winning a game that you looked at them as like, okay, man, it looked like Los Angeles Chargers may have a chance, but they didn't have a chance in the end.
It's so unfair to people like the great Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and LeBron James of the past. Any given year, you could have made them MVP because they did stuff like this in games. I mean, let's be honest. We shouldn't even be having this discussion. Truthfully, Patrick Mahomes the MVP for real.
No,
They're
yeah,
not nowhere even close to this record without Patrick Mahomes, okay? How many of these games that came down to him doing what he do, and then they finish off in some crazy field goal to last second scoring fashion? If not for Patrick Mahomes, I don't even think they got a winning record in Kansas
I
City
think
this
they'll
year.
be 500.
They'd
No,
be 500 at best. Okay, and that being said, you know my man's Travis Kelsey ain't been getting the football like he would want to. You don't see that all up in the media, and he got his own podcast and everything. If anybody should be complaining, it's Travis Kelsey.
yeah.
He ain't did it. I'm just saying.
When
Good
it
teams,
hit
they don't
different,
worry
man.
about that. My
Yeah,
man
when,
St. Brown for the Lions. He ain't been getting the football like he was these last couple years. He got his own podcast. You don't see him running off at the lip. I'm just saying.
I think when it hit different our organizations, like you said, some people just want to worry about their own accolades, you know.
Absolutely.
I don't really want to talk about the Monday night game, but I did like the Simpsons stuff that went on. That was actually pretty cool. And when you said they're gonna do the Madden, I was really hype about that, man. It was funny to see the drunk dude from The Simpsons run the touchdown in. It was like a lot of cool stuff, man.
Man, that's the part about it that I like. Keep in mind the same people that did the Toy Story did the Simpsons, and they didn't kind of learn from some of the mistakes they did that last time.
It wasn't as
So
glitchy.
it wasn't nearly as glitchy as the last one. I really like how they incorporated the Simpson characters into the actual game. That being said, Lisa got off in that game. Lisa Simpson scored like 2
Who the
touchdowns.
hell was Lisa? Was she Jamar Chase?
She was Jamar Chase,
Yeah,
and she was the running back.
that's funny. Yeah, she was
And
clowning.
Bart threw a couple TDs. I mean, it was crazy.
It was
So
actually
I
pretty
liked
cool.
it
The
because
graphic.
obviously they did that to incorporate it for the kids, so it'd be more fun for them. Because imagine you were a little kid and you saw that, like, yeah, I watched the game and Bart scored a touchdown, and it was cool. Me and my dad, he let me stay up, and you know what I'm saying. I could just imagine that was a good family thing. And keep in mind, if you haven't seen the game, when I'm rebroadcasting later, I'm gonna try to put that link in for y'all, like we did last year, so you can go back and watch it because it is on YouTube if you want to check out their version of the game. Um, Call me crazy, Hugh. They need to do this more often.
Yeah. Wow. When I heard you saying they were talking about doing the Madden one
I'm
style,
definitely looking forward to seeing that one.
so
But
they
no, that like I said, even if they just did certain ones, every year they did a Toy Story game, and every year they did a Simpson game. I
Mhm.
was sitting there thinking, okay, what other cartoon could they do this with, and it would be kind of cool.
That's a good question.
I don't think it would fit so good with like a Family Guy, maybe the Cleveland Show. I don't know.
I would like to see probably like the Incredibles or something, but
I wouldn't even mind them going back in the day and going to old school cartoon. Maybe do a Scooby Doo game. That'd
that'd
be
be cool.
crazy.
Yeah. Because man, because that'd get Hanna Barbera more money,
Or
man.
G.I. Joe, something like that. It would
Yeah,
just be
I
cool for
definitely
you to
want to see more of them putting that in there. I'm
do.
glad.
Absolutely.
I was definitely glad to see it, man. But that game was still bad at the end. Like, how
I
do
mean,
you
it's
block a
alright.
punt? You block a punt, and that was the reason why it was bad because this happened several times to the Cowboys. You block the punt, and then one of your players touch it, and you lose the game that way, man. Like they just find it
That's
different
only
ways
happened
to do
twice
it.
in the last 10 years. That's crazy.
And you
That
know
is
what? It
crazy.
happened twice to them.
And both times it
2021
was to
with
the
Denver,
Cowboys.
and
That's
then
correct.
at night on
Right.
Monday.
So you would think somebody would have said something. That being said, the more I look at them Cowboys, I realize McCarthy not going nowhere.
Yeah, everybody's still backing him right now. I heard Parsons saying that yeah, he wanted him back, and
And
a
that
lot
was
of
his biggest
people,
critic a few weeks ago.
yeah, so that was a surprise, man, to see a lot of them say that they wanted him back. So yeah, man, it's like it is broke, but then they like, man, if we can't find nobody to fix it, let's just keep what we got.
Well, remember who the owner of that team is. Like I said, some owners they care a little differently. And Jerry being one of the richest owners of them all, but you know how he is about his coaches.
Yeah, and
I have no strings on me.
and it's funny too because yeah, man. They don't ever say you all in again and just keep off the cameras if you're not really serious and backing up what you're saying. That's just the bottom line.
No. Cohen for the New York Mets, he's all in.
Hmm.
You, Jerry, not so much. That being said, I don't know how you pull it off, but if you don't get Shador or Travis Hunter, you better figure out some way to get that dude Genty.
Yeah, he
Better
can use
trade
it.
up or something.
That'd be a perfect fit for him too, man.
If ever there was a perfect fit for a team, it's that dude as they running back.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
they definitely could use him. Hey man, we gonna get into the predictions now. Week
Right on
15.
time, baby.
Right, man. The Thursday night game. We got the Rams coming back on the short week and playing the 49ers, man. Who do you have in this game?
I like watching the Rams play this year. I really do. And because of that, I'm going to go with them because the 49ers, they still banged up.
Mhm.
And I think that's going to be the deciding factor.
Dude, I don't even think they got any in their running backs too. They probably got to get somebody off the street.
Yeah, they definitely
Dude,
got a problem with the running back
I'm gonna
situation.
take the I'm gonna go with the 3 points, but I'm not giving it to San Fran. I'm gonna give that to the Rams. Okay. This is a late game, but then they had this one and I'm gonna just get it out the way. This might be a Super Bowl preview, man. Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions.
Man, I can't wait for this game. It's going to be potentially one of the best games of the year, without question. Bottom line, if we find a way to not only beat Buffalo, but beat them convincingly, that's all you're going to hear about on Monday. The Lions going. They're going all the way. If we beat the Bills, that being said, last week, if you'd have asked me this, I've been like, I still got the Bills. After what I seen with the Rams, I think we could beat them.
They got weaknesses, man. They can't stop the run.
And Lord knows we can run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor Decker will be back from injury. I'm going with the Lions. We at the crib. Why not?
From injury too. I'm gonna take the Lions, and I'm gonna play it safe. I'll take the 2.5 points on that one too. Let me do the honors. Ravens.
Without question. Bottom line, if we find a way to not only beat Buffalo, but beat them convincingly, that's all you're going to hear about on Monday. The Lions going. They're going all the way. If we beat the Bills, that being said, last week, if you'd have asked me this, I've been like, I still got the Bills. After what I seen with the Rams, I think we could beat them.
They got weaknesses, man. They can't stop the run.
And Lord knows we can run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor Decker will be back from injury. I'm going with the Lions. We at the crib. Why not?
From injury too. I'm gonna take the Lions, and I'm gonna play it safe. I'll take the 2.5 points on that one too. Let me do the honors. Ravens and Giants next.
Absolutely.
Jets Jaguars next.
Absolutely.
Cowboys Panthers. Can we move on?
Yes.
Commanders Saints.
Well, for some strange reason, the Saints are probably gonna make that interesting, even though Carr is out, and they probably gonna go with the kid again. Or hell, it's been talked that they might actually go with our favorite tight end quarterback as quarterback. Who knows? But I still got Commanders.
I got them too by the 7.5. Bengals and Titans next.
Definitely next.
Chiefs Browns. That's kind of interesting.
In an ideal world, you would say, yeah, Chiefs gonna blow that ass out, but they ain't blew nobody ass out all year.
You know what's funny, E? They got them by 4.5, so I'm gonna take them points. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Don't be surprised if we get it all over again. Get out to the fourth quarter, and here goes Superman again coming in to save the day.
Even Dolphins and Texans. That's gonna be a good one, but I'm gonna go with them Texans on that. And I'll take the 3 points.
I'm actually going with the Dolphins. They on the road right now. And because it's in a warm weather environment,
it is.
I always like Dolphins in warm weather environment. But again, I still watch that game. like this sometimes. I feel like Tua on borrowed time, dog. I hate to admit it.
Yeah, I'd be so happy when that dude slide. I still be scared though. This is an interesting game too. The 6-7 Colts versus the 8-5 Broncos.
I'm going with the Colts for some crazy reason.
I will take the Broncos just by margin by 3 points.
If the
But
Colts win
that
that
one
game,
could,
it will be because of the running game. I will
that
say
could
that.
go any way though.
Yeah.
Another doozy. Patriots Cardinals. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Check me out though, E. Not so fast. The Buccaneers and the Chargers.
No, not so fast indeed. This should actually be a very good game. Understand that the Chargers starting to be hurt by the running backs.
Yeah.
The depth chart starting to get down there. I like that dude Gus Edwards, but he not a good every down back.
No,
He
not
was.
like
He still
not.
be at Baltimore. In terms of Tampa Bay, they on the road right now. They starting to put some things together. Okay, Evans is back, and in the end, that dude Baker, he that guy.
He
It's
plays
some
well
roaches
with
on
what
that
he
kid.
has.
I like that dude.
The Palmer kid looked good. His old,
Agreed.
Nate
I
Shepard,
like that dude Bucky Urban coming out the
me too.
backfield.
Sean Taylor. They got some good players over
They
there.
do.
Yeah, I'm definitely like you, E. I'm going with the Bucks on this one, and I'll take them by 3 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, E. This is one that I ran into right here, man. I want to know your thoughts on this one. Yeah, you know which one I'm talking about. The Battle of Pennsylvania.
Yes, sir.
Steelers and the Eagles.
Now
What's this stuff
understand,
going
I'm
on,
looking
boy?
forward to that Detroit and Buffalo game, but I actually think this game right here gonna be the best game of the weekend
I agree.
because you got two teams that hate each other. Hopefully, they will continue to make this a game every year, just like they do Cleveland and Cincinnati and so on and so forth, because it's usually a good game despite the records. That being said, understand what's on the line. If Pittsburgh wins this game, they probably could lock up the number 3 seed with this win. Okay.
Mhm.
If Philly win this game, the Lions about to keep winning because the rest of Philly's schedule look kind of, you know
The
what I'm
Dutch,
saying? They ain't
the
got much. I think they
Cowboys,
got the
and
Giants
the
twice near the
yeah,
end of the year.
yeah.
I see that being too easy, but whoopings. So, if it's any chance for us to not be in that scenario, we beat Buffalo, Pittsburgh beat Philly. Look out, y'all. Everybody gonna have to bring their butt to the D. But yeah, I'm not even picking that game. I can't.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh, and I'm gonna take them by 3.
I must admit, I want Pittsburgh to win for multiple reasons, but just that. Shout out to my man Tomlin. He doing it again. Understand though, I will say this. Whoever wins these two games will determine who's gonna be coach of the year. If the Lions beat the Bills, Dan Campbell gonna be coach of the year. If Pittsburgh beat Philadelphia, Tomlin gonna be coach of the year. It's gonna be one of them two.
The Packers and the Seahawks, another good game, solid game.
I'm going with the Seahawks.
Me too. On the end they're at home, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. I'm gonna take
For,
them, and I'm gonna take
for
the
one
3 points.
simple reason, man. I think that dude, he gonna go into hero mode and they gonna catch him. Look for your boy Witherspoon to get a pick that game.
And yeah, I've been definitely surprised he hasn't been playing as much hero ball, but eventually that's what it boils down to.
Oh yeah.
The Bears and Vikings game, I think is going to be closer than what a lot of people give it credit for. They have Minnesota by 7, but I'm gonna go under that. But I'm gonna still pick Minnesota at home.
I think this may be the last game that the Bears could possibly win this year. They don't win this one. I don't see them winning the rest of the year.
And then, man, my heart telling me that we gonna move on from this Monday night game too, because I don't have it in me to talk about it. This game is the Falcons and Raiders, and we're not gonna even talk about it.
Raiders ain't even gonna show up, okay?
No, I
Y'all
hope
done seen them play. Yeah, they score a little bit of what I've never seen a team so obviously tank in my entire life. You know what they doing. You know why they doing it.
They either gonna go after two
Don't
guys,
even be
man.
surprised if Shador Sanders is in the house.
Either him or Cam Ward, but I still think, like you said, man, by the ties with Tom Brady and everything, I wouldn't be surprised if that's where he land. And
Absolutely.
surprising enough, though, they got about a slim margin, though, the Falcons, man. But then the Falcons haven't really been nothing to talk about much either this year. I'll take them with the 4 points.
I know one thing: the Raiders beat the Falcons. You definitely will see Michael Penix Jr. in one of these last games.
I
No doubt
agree.
about it.
Yeah, I agree. And basically, that's all I have to say, man. Anything else you got to add?
All right. Well, it is a couple things we should touch on. First of
Yes, sir.
all, how could you not talk about what's going to go on Saturday? You got two events of interest. One, obviously, the Heisman Trophy presentation. We're
hmm
not talking Heisman Trophy. Who you think got it, Hugh?
I definitely think Alshon Jenkins is gonna possibly get it, man. I hope that my man Travis Hunter get it, but yeah, that's what I think they're gonna lean towards. I would be excited to see Travis do it to be a two-way player because we've seen that before in the past with our boy Charles Wood. Um,
Okay, I got to understand something. Remember, we got 4 finalists this year. Why is Dylan Gabriel in New York?
yeah, I agree.
Is it because they undefeated?
That's probably why. That's definitely probably why.
Because truthfully, if it was gonna be 4, I would have went with those two. Obviously, who's your third candidate? I can't think of his name at the moment. But my fourth definitely would have been Dylan. It would have been Shador Sanders, flat out. Cam Ward. There we go. That's the other one.
Yeah, I definitely can see Cam Ward in
Yeah,
that mix too.
absolutely.
But like you said, Dylan, I ain't see him in that mix. Like, come on, man, let's be serious.
Nah, not at all.
But yeah, I definitely would like Travis Hunter to win, but I think they're gonna give it to Alshon Jenkins,
Right.
man,
I mean,
because
truthfully, if Texas could have beat Georgia, I wouldn't have been surprised if yours would have been one of the finalists,
Jesus.
just on the strength.
And the crazy thing about it too is he said something that made a lot of sense though, man, that made me kind of say, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they looked at that too. He said, man, all defenses did all along this year was try to stop me and they still couldn't. Look at my resume and look at what I did. That dude told us, if I can't get over 2,000 yards this year, man, I'll cut my hair. He ain't cutting that hair off.
No, sir.
Yeah, that dude was dangerous. But like I said, it'll be nice to see Travis Hunter win it. But I think that Alshon Jenkins was definitely more valuable to his team, though.
Okay, just a little throw in before I get to the other subject. There's 5 people currently in the transfer portal that are over 23 years of age, looking to play for yet another team. It is wild how that COVID year just gets stretched out to the fullest in this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Between people getting hurt, then that COVID year, it's people still playing college football in their middle 20s. It's nuts.
You heard about your boy General Booty, man. He's in the transfer
Best
portal.
name in college football, bar none.
I just seen he in the transfer portal.
Yes, sir. General Booty.
Mhm.
That's so crazy. But anyway, the second thing is I do believe that's this weekend. We're gonna get for the first time in over, I want to say 30 years for our wrestling fans in the house. Saturday night's main event. Any thoughts on that, Hugh?
I like that concept, man. I'm surprised they didn't have it out longer, man. But then, man, I don't know. Maybe since Vince McMahon left, you see a lot more wrestlers happy, man. And I like the way Triple H engineer things, man. Like the guys who want to know the business, he's not shying away from that. He's teaching these guys the business and the professional point of it. That's why, and what surprised me, all the hatred I used to think that was between him and Goldberg, that they ended up being the best of friends because that's what Triple H had to offer, man. He was good with the business and good as a wrestler as well. But I think he's going to do a lot of wonders. It's going to be good for the actual sport. And then when they go on Netflix, it's really going to blow up too, man, because they're going to make it back how it used to be the bloody, rated R type wrestling scene. So, yeah, I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen.
playoff time, I don't think he'll be like that with them. First of all, second of all, you don't need him to be the man. You don't even need him to be the man next to the man. Matter of fact, an ideal where I would love a scenario where they put him in the second unit and have him and Buddy Hield work together.
Yeah, because Buddy Hield, man, it definitely revitalized his career in Golden State. So I think that'd be good to have him over there, man. That'd be pretty good. That'd be a good formula for Golden State too. That'd
Right.
be a nice fit, I believe.
And again, the rumors about LeBron going to the Warriors again. Come on, y'all.
No,
Y'all know that ain't I mean, the only way that happens is if basically you give LeBron whatever he wants. And you know what he gonna want. Yep, trade me, bring my son with me, put him on the bench over there in so-and-so spot, and we could do this. That's too much. Okay. I understand LeBron the man, future owner of the Las Vegas, whatever team that's gonna be. But yeah. Just go ahead and let him do his thing. One last question, Hugh.
Yeah.
Is this LeBron's last year? Remember, he said he was playing until he got to play with his son. He got to do that. What up?
He might do one more year. I wouldn't be surprised if he did retire this year, but I think he's gonna do at least one more year, one more run.
Part of me kind of want him to hang on to Bryce getting the lead.
I don't think he'd be able to.
Think they mad now? Imagine they be mad when he got both his kids drafted, and they both get to play with him.
Because I think with Bryce too, man, with his height and just his abilities, man, I think he'd be good when he come in the league, man.
Dude, almost 6'7" right now, yeah.
He looked like he gonna be a hybrid of his pops, man. You know how they say skip a generation. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Absolutely. But yeah, like I said, y'all check out the football, check out the basketball. We'll be back next week to talk about it all with y'all. Hugh, let them know where they can find you, bro.
Hoovy on Instagram, where I do basically the podcast and I advertise our podcast, man, for the most part. And then Sports Guru to You is my Facebook page where I put the breaking news and the different stats and things around the league, whether it's NFL, NBA, etc. And TikTok is Hugh.Lee6. I put a lot of my highlights and reels on that page. Sports Guru, no, actually, the Guru Perspective come on at Tuesday, 1 p.m. And of course, you can catch me at the Guru Sports Session as well on Wednesdays at 9 p.m.
All right, y'all. I don't know what happened with all the glitching near the end of the show there and the sound cutting out and all that. Like I said, we're using a new form of doing this, and apparently it's having some type of issue. We're going to go ahead and call it a show. Until we see y'all next week, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you as always. It's your boy E-Buck. This has been Guru's Sports Session, and we out.